Hello students, let us solve some examples based on Pythagoras theorem. First question is, identify with reason which of the following are Pythagorean triplet. The first group of numbers is 5, 12 and 13. We have to decide whether it is a Pythagorean triplet or not. For that we must know what is a Pythagorean triplet. So let's understand that one. Suppose in a triplet of a natural numbers, if the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the squares of remaining two numbers, then the triplet is called as a Pythagorean triplet. So suppose there are three numbers given which must be natural numbers, and amongst those if the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the remaining two numbers, then that group of number is called as a Pythagorean triplet. So we have to decide whether this is a Pythagorean triplet or not. So for that one, let us have the longest side and make it square. The longest side amongst these numbers is 13. So we should make 13 square, that's 169. Now apart from 13, there are another two numbers, 5 and 12. So we have to make a sum of squares of these two numbers, that is sum of squares of the remaining two numbers, that is 5 square plus 12 square, that is equal to 5 square is 25 plus 12 square is 144. So 25 plus 144, that's 169. So as we can observe, the 13 square is 169 and sum of squares of the remaining two numbers is also 169. So from this we have 13 square is equal to 5 square plus 12 square, that means the longest side square is equal to sum of squares of remaining two sides. That's why the given triplet is a Pythagorean triplet. Let us solve another problem. Another triplet is given 10, 24 and 27. Here also first of all we should pick up the largest number. The largest number is 27. We should have longest side square, that is 27 square, that's 729. The remaining two numbers are 10 and 24. So we should make sum of squares of remaining two sides, that's 10 square plus 24 square. So 10 square is 100 plus 24 square is 576. So if we add these two, we get 676. So as we can observe, the longest side square is 729 and the sum of squares of remaining two sides is 676. That means these two are not equal. That is 27 square is not equal to 10 square plus 24 square. That means the longest side square is not equal to sum of squares of remaining two sides. That's why the given triplet is not a Pythagorean triplet. By using this principle, we can decide whether the given triplet is a Pythagorean triplet or not. Let us have the next question. A diagram is given over here. The question is, in this given diagram, angle MNP is 90 degree. Segment NQ is perpendicular to segment MP, where the length of segment MQ is given to be 9, length of segment QP is given to be 4, and from this we have to find the length of NQ. Now here a right angle triangle is given, and in that right angle triangle there is a perpendicular drawn on a hypotenuse from its opposite vertex, so that is NQ. That's why here we can use the geometric mean property, and by that property we have the perpendicular segment drawn on the hypotenuse is the geometric mean of two segments into which the hypotenuse is divided. So here the two segments are MQ and QP. So by the geometric mean property we have NQ is the geometric mean of MQ and QP. That means we can write it as NQ square is equal to MQ into PQ, because whenever any number is the geometric mean of other two numbers, its square must be equal to the product of those two numbers. That's why NQ square is equal to MQ into PQ. Here we have to replace the values of MQ and PQ which are given. So MQ is 9 and PQ is 4. So 9 into 4, that's 36. So we get NQ square is equal to 36. We have to find the value of NQ. That's why we should take square root on both the sides. So if we take a square root, we get NQ is equal to 6, as the square root of 36 is 6. So this is the length of segment NQ. Let us have another question. Another diagram is given. Question is, in this diagram, Angle QPR is 90 degree. Segment PM is perpendicular to segment QR, and Q dash M dash R, that means Q, M and R are collinear points. The length of segment PM is 10, length of segment QM is 8. From that we have to find QR. So here also one right angle triangle is given, and in that there is a perpendicular drawn on the hypotenuse from its opposite vertex. That's why here also we should use the geometric mean property. And by that we can write PM is the perpendicular drawn on the hypotenuse. That's why PM square is equal to QM into MR. Here value of PM is given to be 10, so we should replace PM by 10. That's 10 square is equal to, the length of QM is 8, so instead of QM we write 8 into MR. 10 square is 100. If we take 8 to the left hand side, it will mean the denominator. Just to get 100 divided by 8, that is equal to MR. If we divide 100 by 8, we get 12.5 is equal to MR. That means MR is equal to 12.5 units. But the question is, we have to find the length of QR. Now QR is nothing but the sum of two smaller segments, QM and MR. So to find QR, we should just add them. That is, we should add QM and MR to get QR. That is, QR is equal to QM plus MR, because it is given that Q dash M dash R, that means Q, M and R are collinear points. That's why we can write this. QR is equal to QM plus MR. Now we have both the values of QM and MR. We should just need to replace QM by 8 plus MR is 12.5. So 8 plus 12.5, that's 20.5. So this is the length of segment QR. Let us have the next question. The diagram is given, and based on this, the question is, find RP and PS, the lengths of these two segments, by using the given information. Angle PSR is a right angle. That means measure of this is 90 degree. Measure of angle P is 30 degree. Length of side SR is 6, and from that we have to find RP and PS. As if we consider this triangle PSR, in this one, the measures of two angles are given. That is, angle PSR is 90 degree, angle SPR is 30 degree. So if it is so, the remaining angle must be of measure 60 degree, and the remaining angle is angle SRP. So measure of angle SRP is 60 degree. From this we have a triangle PSR, which is 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle. That is, triangle PSR is 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle. We can use the theorem of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. By that, we know that side opposite to 30 degree is half of the hypotenuse. So side opposite to 30, that means side opposite to angle P is SR. So we have SR is equal to half of the hypotenuse. In this right angle triangle, hypotenuse is RP, because it is a side opposite to right angle. So from this relation, we have SR is equal to 1/2 of RP, as SR is a side opposite to 30 degree. We have the value of SR, that is 6. So we'll replace SR here by 6, that is equal to 1/2 into RP. If we take 1/2 to the left hand side, it will mean the numerator, that is 6 into 2, that is equal to RP. 6 into 2, that's 12 is equal to RP. That means RP is equal to 12 units. So this is the length of the first segment we wanted, that is length of RP is 12 units, which is the hypotenuse of this triangle. Now we have to find the length of PS. As side PS is side opposite to angle R, and measure of angle R is 60 degree, that's why we should use the theorem of 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle again. As the side opposite to 60 degree is root 3 by 2 times the hypotenuse, that is PS is equal to root 3 by 2 into hypotenuse RP. Now this time we have the length of RP, so we should replace here RP by 12. This PS is equal to root 3 by 2 into 12. If we divide 12 by 2, we get 6. 6 into root 3, that's 6 root 3. The length of segment PS is 6 root 3. Let us have the next question. The diagram is given, and based on that, we have to complete this activity. So there is a triangle ABC given, whose sides AB and BC are congruent, which are shown in the diagram. The length of segment AC, which is the hypotenuse for this triangle, is root 8 units, And from that we have to complete this activity. The first statement in this activity is AB is equal to BC, as you can see in the diagram which is given. That's why in the box the reason should be there. It's given AB is equal to BC. Now we know that for a triangle, if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then angles opposite to them are also congruent. So angles opposite to side AB and side BC are angle A and angle C. So both of these two angles must be congruent. So angle BAC must be equal to angle BCA, and as these two angles are congruent, their measures must be 45 degree each. That means measure of angle BAC as well as measure of angle BCA must be 45 degree. That means angle BAC is equal to 45 degree. Now here we should use the theorem of 45 45 90 degree triangle, and by that we know that sides making a right angle is equal to 1 by root 2 times the hypotenuse. So perpendicular sides are AB and BC. So that must be equal to 1 by root 2 times the hypotenuse. That is 1 by root 2 into hypotenuse here is AC. It is 1 by root 2 into AC. That is equal to 1 by root 2 into the length of AC is given to be root 8. So 1 by root 2 into root 8. So this root 8 can be simplified as 2 root 2 and 1 by root 2 as it is. Now here 1 by root 2 into 2 root 2. Root 2 in the numerator and denominator will get cancelled. So we'll have just 2. That is length of AB and BC is equal to 2 units. The next question is find the side and the perimeter of a square whose diagonal is 10 centimeter. So for a square, the diagonal is given. That is the diagonal of a square is 10 centimeter. Firstly, we should find its side. So we have the relation between the side and diagonal of a square. That is diagonal of a square is equal to root 2 into side. Diagonal is 10, that is equal to root 2 into side. If you take root 2 to the left hand side, it will be in the denominator. So as to get 10 divided by root 2, that is equal to side. Now here we have to rationalize denominator, simplify this one. So to do that, we have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by root 2. So 10 by root 2 into root 2, that is equal to side. If we multiply numerators and denominators, we get 10 into root 2, that's 10 root 2 divided by root 2 into root 2, that's root 2 square. That is nothing but 2 is equal to side. Now if we divide 10 in the numerator by 2, we get 2 5s are 10, that's why 5 root 2 that is equal to side. That means side of a square is 5 root 2 centimeter. So this is the answer of the first question. We have to also find the perimeter of a square, and for that we use formula for perimeter of a square, and the formula is perimeter of a square is equal to 4 into side. So 4 into, we have just found side 5 root 2. So replace here side by 5 root 2. The perimeter of a square is equal to 4 into 5 root 2. 4 into 5, that's 20 root 2 centimeter. So this is the perimeter of given square. Again, we have the next question based on this diagram. Question is, in the diagram, angle DFE is 90 degree. Segment FG is perpendicular to GD. Length of GD is 8. Length of FG is 12. And from that, we have to find EG, FD, and EF. So here also one right angle triangle is given in which a perpendicular drawn on the hypotenuse. So again we have to use property of geometric mean. So by geometric mean property, we have perpendicular drawn is GF. That's why GF square is equal to GD into GE, because by drawing this perpendicular, hypotenuse is divided into these two smaller segments. So GF is the geometric mean of GD and GE. That's why we have written here. So GF is given, that's 12. So 12 square is equal to GD is also given, that's 8 into GE. So 12 square is 144. If you take 8 to the left hand side, it will be in the denominator. Just to get 144 divided by 8 is equal to GE. If we divide 144 by 8, we get 18 is equal to GE. That means the length of GE, that is nothing but EG, is 18 units. Now we have to find the length of FD. For that, consider a triangle DGF, which is a right angle triangle, in which if we use the Pythagoras theorem, by that we can write hypotenuse square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. Here the hypotenuse is DF, so we can write DF square is equal to remaining two sides are GD and GF. That's why we have written here GD square plus GF square. And this is the statement by the Pythagoras theorem. Now we have to find DF. So we'll replace GD by 8, which is given 8 square, plus GF, it is also given 12, that's 12 square. So DF square is equal to 8 square is 64 plus 12 square is 144. 64 plus 144, that's 208. Now we have to find the length of DF. That's why we should take a square root on both the sides. So if we take square root, we get DF is equal to under root 208. We can further simplify this one. We can split 208 in two factors such that one of them must be perfect square. So the factors are 16 into 13, where 16 is a perfect square. It is a square of 4. So if we take 16 outside the square root sign, 4 should be taken and root 13 under root as it is. So the length of segment DF, that is length of segment FD, is 4 root 13. Now we have to find the length of segment EF. To find the length of segment EF, now we should consider right angle triangle EGF. So here also by Pythagoras theorem, we can write EF square, which is the hypotenuse, is equal to EG square plus GF square by the Pythagoras theorem. So here also we have the length of EG. It is we have just found to be 18. That's 18 square plus GF square. GF is given to be 12, so 12 square. 18 square is 324 plus 12 square is 144. 324 plus 144 we get 468. That is equal to EF square. We have to find EF, so we should take square root on both the sides. To get EF is equal to under root 468. Again we can simplify this one. 468 can be splitted into 13 into 36, where 36 is a perfect square of 6. Now if you take 36 outside the square root sign, its square root should be taken, that is EF is equal to 6 root 13. So this is the length of third segment we wanted. So here the length of segment EG is 18, length of segment FD is 4 root 13, length of segment EF is 6 root 13. Let us have the next question. Find the diagonal of a rectangle whose length is 35 centimeter and the breadth is 12 centimeter. Now here the diagram is not given. So first of all we should draw a diagram. Let us have rectangle. We'll name this as rectangle ABCD, where AC is the diagonal. For this rectangle, length is given to be 35 and breadth is 12. So here we treat AB as a breadth, which is 12 centimeter, and BC as the length, which is 35 centimeter. So let us consider quadrilateral ABCD be a rectangle where the length AB is 12 centimeter and length BC is 35 centimeter and AC is the diagonal. Now we know that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle, so we have to use that property. If we consider diagonal AC, this diagonal AC makes two right angle triangles of this rectangle. So triangle ABC is a right angle triangle because each angle of a rectangle is 90 degree. So if we consider triangle ABC, in that angle ABC is equal to 90 degree. So in triangle ABC, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. By that, we can write hypotenuse square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. That is, hypotenuse is AC. That is equal to AB square plus BC square. We have the lengths of both of these two segments. We should replace there. AC square is equal to AB is 12. That's 12 square plus BC square is there, and the length of BC is 35. That's why 35 square. Now 12 square is 144 plus square of 35 is 1225. So if we add these two, we get 1369. If we take square root on both the sides, we get AC is equal to 37 centimeter because the square root of 1369 is 37 centimeter, which is the diagonal of this rectangle. So the length of the diagonal for this rectangle is 37 centimeter. Next question is again based on this diagram. Question is, For this diagram, M is the midpoint of side QR. Measure of angle PRQ is 90 degree, and from that we have to prove that PQ square is equal to 4PM square minus 3PR square. Now we'll start with the given. Point M is the midpoint of segment RQ. So if M is the midpoint of segment RQ, we have the length of RM, which is half of RQ. Because M is a midpoint, that's why it makes two equal parts of segment QR. So we have RM is equal to 1/2 into QR. Now we'll call this as equation number 1. Now consider triangle PRQ. So for this triangle, as it is a right angle triangle, by Pythagoras theorem we can write hypotenuse square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square, that is PQ square, as a PQ is the hypotenuse over here, is equal to PR square plus RQ square. We'll call this as equation number 2. Again consider triangle PRM. This is also a right angle triangle where PM is the hypotenuse. Now this time if we apply the Pythagoras theorem, we can write PM square, that is hypotenuse square, is equal to PR square plus RM square. So this is by Pythagoras theorem. Here we have the substitution for RM. In equation 1 we have proved that RM is equal to half of RQ. So instead of RM we should write 1/2 RQ bracket square. And this is from 1. Further simplifying, we get PM square is equal to PR square as it is, plus we have to make a squares of both of these two, that is 1/2 and RQ. The square of 1/2 is 1/4 into QR square. Now if we multiply throughout by 4, the denominator in the third term will be eliminated. So for that we have to multiply each term by 4. 4 into PM square, that's 4 PM square is equal to 4 into PR square, plus if we multiply 4 to 1/4, 4 will get cancelled, so as to have only RQ square. So the next step we'll write 4 PM square the left hand side as it is. Now here we split 4 PR square as 3 PR square plus PR square, which is again 4 PR square. So this does not make any difference to the equation, plus the last term RQ square as it is. Now here as we can observe, PR square plus QR square is there, and we have proved in equation number 2 that PR square plus QR square is equal to PQ square. So instead of this term we should write PQ square and the remaining two terms as it is. So this is from equation number 2. Now if we take 3 PR square to the left hand side, it will become minus. So 4 PM square minus 3 PR square is equal to PQ square. If we interchange the sides, we get PQ square is equal to 4 PM square minus 3 PR square. That is we wanted to prove. PQ square is equal to 4 PM square minus 3 PR square. Let us have the next question. Walls of two buildings on either side of a street are parallel to each other. A ladder 5.8 meter long is placed on the street such that its top just reaches the window of a building at the height of 4 meter. On turning the ladder over the other side of the street, its top touches the window of the other building at height of 4.2 meters. Find the width of the street. To solve this problem, first of all, we should draw a diagram according to the information given us in this problem. So for that, let us consider this street, and there are two buildings on either sides of the street. So let us name these buildings AB and building BC, where BC is the street. Now it is also given that a ladder is placed on the street such that its top reaches the window of the building of height 4. So let us consider the height of building AB be 4 meter and height of building CD be 4.2 meters. Now it is given that a ladder of length 5.8 meter is placed on the street such that its top just reaches the window of a building at height 4 meters. So if we consider the ladder which is placed on the street, it reaches the window of a building at the height of 4 meters. Let us consider the ladder be AM, which is 5.8 meter long. When it is placed on the street, it just reaches the window of a building at the height of 4 meters. Similarly, on turning the ladder over the other side of the street, its top touches the window of the other building at a height 4.2 meters. So if we turn this ladder AM to the other side, we get DM as the ladder this time, and the length of the ladder is 5.8 meters. So this is the diagram, and from this we have to find the width of the street. Now, as these are the two buildings, they must be perpendicular to the street. That means AB must be perpendicular to BC and DC must be perpendicular to the BC. So if these two are perpendicular to the ground, then we have triangle ABM, which must be a right angle triangle. And in that we can use the Pythagoras theorem, and by that we have AM square, that is hypotenuse square, is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square, that is AB square plus BM square. Now AM is 5.8 square is equal to AB is 4, that square, plus BM square. So square of 5.8 is 33.64 is equal to 4 square is 16 plus BM square. If we take 16 to the left hand side, we get 33.64 minus 16 is equal to BM square. To do this subtraction, we get 33.64 minus 16, that's 17.64 is equal to BM square. Now if we take square root on both the sides, the square root of 17.64 is 4.2, that is equal to BM. That means the length of segment BM is 4.2 meter. Now in the same way, we have another triangle DCM, which is also a right angle triangle, because as DC is a building, it must be perpendicular to the ground. That means this angle must be a right angle, and in that right angle triangle DCM, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. By that we have DM square is equal to DC square plus CM square. Now here the length of DM is also 5.8, that square is equal to DC is now 4.2 square plus CM square. We have to find the length of CM here. The square of 5.8 is 33.64. That is equal to 4.2 square is 17.64 plus CM square. If we take 17.64 to the left hand side, it will become minus. It is 33.64 minus 17.64, that is equal to CM square. So if we do the subtraction, 33.64 minus 17.64, it will be 16, that is equal to CM square. Again, if we take square root on both the sides, the square root of 16 is 4 is equal to CM, that is the length of segment CM is 4 meters. But we have to find the width of the street, which is BC. So we can have now width of the street, that is equal to BC. BC is nothing but the sum of two smaller segments, that is BM and CM. So we can write BC is equal to BM plus CM, as B, M and C are collinear points, that is B dash, M dash, C. Now the length of BM and CM both we have found here. The length of BM is 4.2 meters and length of CM is 4 meters. So 4.2 plus 4, that's 8.2 meters, that is equal to BC. Here the length of segment BC is 8.2 meters, that is width of the street is 8.2 meters.